Hi guys, for today's video I'm going to be sharing with you my tanning routine. This is something that I actually get a lot of questions about. So in this video I'm going to be sharing with you the products that I use, answering some questions that I get, and also I will insert like an application clip so you can see how I actually apply the tan as well, because I get a lot of questions about that. So first of all, there's about 3 steps to it. So there's the pre, getting ready for your tan, the actually applying, and then the post aftercare to make sure it lasts and looks good. So the first thing I will say is what products that I use so that you guys can know that. So I use Loving Tan. This is my absolute favorite tanner. I think it's the best. It doesn't have any streaks. It's not splotchy. It's not orange. It lasts a long time. Really easy to apply. So there's a bunch of different colors. I think there's medium, dark, and ultra dark, and I use the ultra dark shade. I find the undertone in this one is the best for my particular skin tone. I have an olive undertone, and so does this. I feel like all of the Loving Tan shades have an olive undertone, but the dark shade is a little bit more, I don't want to say red because it's not red, but it's just a little bit more on like that side opposed to this shade in my opinion. So I like to use this one, and I also love to use the bronze shimmer. Now I use this one in the shade dark. I just like this shade. I got it in a sample and they sent it to me in dark and I really liked it, so I use this as well. This one is more of an instant tan. So this is kind of like a finishing product. It's got shimmer. If you like really just need a little bit of color for what you're wearing, you can put this on and it immediately dries and it rinses off at the end of the night when you take a shower. This product takes time to develop and then it's going to actually stay on your skin. So that's the difference between these products. So the first thing that I do is you want to shower, shave, and exfoliate. So you can really use anything to exfoliate. I personally use the Loving Tan exfoliating mitt. So this comes where the black side is the more intense exfoliation and then the pink side is a softer exfoliation. So I always make sure you want to shave your legs, you want to do all that, you want to scrub everything so it's smooth and good. In an ideal world, you want to do this the day before you tan, just because then your skin isn't like so fresh and the pores aren't open and all that. But if you have to do it on the same day, it's totally fine. I've done that a bunch of times, but just if you have lots of time to prepare, I would recommend doing this the day before. But if you have to do it day of, it's fine. Just make sure you wait an hour after you shower, exfoliate, and shave so that your pores can close up, because otherwise you can get the product just sinking into the pores on your legs and you get little dots. So just want to make sure you give your skin time for that. So after you have exfoliated all of that, you also want to make sure you're not using like Dove soap that has that moisturizing layer, because that can make it harder for the tan to adhere to your skin. So just keep in mind using those super moisturizing things can sometimes create a barrier. So then you want to make sure you are lathering some lotion on the dry parts of your body. So you can use any lotion. I use this one. This is from Raw Sugar, and I will put this on my hands, my elbows, my knees, my like feet and ankles, and my armpit area, because sometimes tan can gather in those areas. And on your hands and your feet, something to note is that the tan absorbs a lot more there. So the skin on your feet and on your hands is so much thinner that it can really gather that color. So you want to make sure that you're moisturizing so that it's not going to soak in so much color. And also your hands can be really dry, your feet and your elbows, all that can be really dry. And then it can create a little bit more splotchy or darkened areas, gathering areas. So just making sure you add that layer of moisture is going to really help with a seamless tan. So that's kind of the prep. That's the shower, shave, exfoliate, moisturize. And a lot of people ask me, if you do put tan on your face, do you do your skincare? Do you put all that stuff? I think it's personal to you. I personally do my skincare routine even if I put tan on my face, but you don't have to. Honestly, I think whatever works for you is fine, but that is a question that I get. Do I use a moisturizer? Do I do skincare? I do, but I don't put my oils or something like that. I think if you're gonna use like your toner and moisturizer or whatever, that's totally fine. So then we get into actual application. So what I use is a tanning glove or tanning mitt. This one is actually from Loving Tan and I really like it. There are probably a bunch of places that sell these, like Ulta has some and things like that, but I like this one. It's soft. I know some people use rubber gloves or plastic gloves, whatever they are. I've tried that, didn't like it, didn't work for me. You need to use something though. You cannot spray this in your hand and wipe it on your body. You will get a huge brown stain. You need to use some type of tool to apply this. So what I like to do is I start with my legs and I basically just put a couple of pumps of the product and start going in circular motion. And then basically you want to make sure you're also getting on the back of your leg, checking that you haven't missed any spots. And then with whatever is left over on the glove, that's when I'll kind of rub it over my feet, go in between my toes. You can also use like a foundation brush on your feet to make it a little bit lighter of an application. But I like to work from the bottom up because sometimes when you're bending over and things like that, you don't want to crease whatever is on your stomach and stuff like that. So I always like to just put a couple of pumps on the mitt, work in circular motions, really scooping on the back, making sure everything is covered, and then moving up. One thing that's really hard that a lot of people ask about is how do you tan your back? So the best way is if you have someone who can help you. Ben helps me put it on my back, but otherwise I kind of just grab like this and try to get like the middle of my back, and then I kind of go like this and then this. It's not ideal. I know that they sell like a back knit thing. You can get one of those. A lot of times I just don't get my back perfect and I don't care, honestly. But if you really care about having a perfectly tanned back, they have tools, or get somebody to help you, or just kind of stretch funny to try to get it. But it's not ideal, but that's what happens. The next thing that I do is I move up and I do like my stomach, I do my arms, I do my chest, all of that, my neck, make sure to get the back of your neck as well. And then when it comes to your hands, I like to personally use a foundation brush and just brush it onto my hands and my wrist. That to me gets in the inside of your fingers the best, and it gives the lightest application. Otherwise, just take whatever's left on your mitt and lightly go over everything, and that's it. You want to be very light with your hands, use very little product. That's why you can see in the clips that I'm wiping it off on the mitt. You do not want to go in with the same amount that you went on your legs on your hands. It's going to absorb so much more. You're going to get orange hands, and it's going to be very difficult to get it not to be orange. It's just going to take a few days to get it off. Another thing, you can wipe off your fingernails. People ask me, do they get dirty? I suppose they could get stained or dirty. I don't really notice that, but you can always just take a little cloth and wipe off your fingernails if you are worried about that. Okay, so then when it comes to your face, this is a big question. Can you tan your face? Should you tan your face? This is completely subjective. Some people break out, some people don't, some people like it, some people don't. So it really just depends on you if you break out from it, if you like how it looks, or if you don't. So for me, just depends. Sometimes I really want a tan face and I will put it on my face. Sometimes I don't really care and I will leave it pale and I'll just use darker makeup and bronzer. So I personally don't break out from tanning my face, so I do it sometimes, not always. You can apply it to your face with a brush like I do in the clips, or you can again use whatever is left and kind of just rub it on with the mitt. Know that there are products out there specifically designed for the face. I believe Loving Tan just came out with a face bronzer or face tanner, so you could look into that. But that's a big question I get, should I use it on my face? And honestly, it's just you gotta try and see if it works for you. Now that I've kind of shown you guys what you do, how you apply it, my next tip is let it dry a little bit. So you're gonna feel funny walking around naked, sticky, wondering what your life has come to, and then you just kind of let it dry a little bit, and then I recommend putting on a big, loose, dark t-shirt. Some people are very weird about it getting on their sheets, so they like to do like long pants, long sleeves. I personally don't care that much, so I just use a big t-shirt and I wash my sheets, but it's up to you guys. Don't put on anything tight. Don't put anything on light colored. I would just get like a big baggy t-shirt, baggy sweatpants or something, wear that to bed. And this one is the 8 hours, so you want to sleep in it. The longer it's on, the darker it gets. But this one does have a color guard, so when you put it on, you can see where it's going. It's gonna be dark when you put it on, but it does develop, yeah. And then you're gonna rinse it off in the morning or whenever. And what I recommend is you just go in, use lukewarm water, and just let it run off until the water is clear. I don't use soap. I don't use burning hot water. You just want to let it run until the water is clear and then apply lotion all over. That is what's going to keep your tan lasting, is using lotion, making sure you're moisturized and hydrated. That is going to make it last longer and look better and smoother, because if you're letting your skin get too dry, that's when it gets patchy and crackly and it doesn't look good. So then the last thing I'll talk about before I answer some questions is, okay, it's time to reapply. I'm kind of splotchy. What do I do? So what I like to do is, mine lasts about a week. I mean, it could go longer, but I like to be very tan. So it lasts about a week, pretty tan. So then when it is time, I put a lot of soap on this thing and I just scrub my body and it comes off. Sometimes there's a little bit left over on the skin, but I don't find that it looks weird if I layer stuff on top. So that's pretty much what I do, and I just repeat this about once a week. So I hope that that answered your guys' questions about application, product, things like that. I'm just gonna answer a couple questions that I get asked a lot by people. So I've answered a few of them about like your face, things like that, but I get asked a lot, does it transfer? Does it get on your clothes? Here's the thing, sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. If you're wearing a white shirt right after you tan, it might transfer a little, but it always comes out. So if you're rinsing off all of your tan, it shouldn't really transfer. It's not like your clothes are brown. I have a tendency of putting on my tan, and before I rinse it off, I just wear clothes and have my tan developing for the day. So then sometimes it does, but I've never had a problem with staining. It always washes out. Same with our sheets. It always washes out. So that's something I really love about this particular tanner, is that I feel like it's so user-friendly. You don't have to worry about it getting gross on everything. So no, I don't think it ruins anything. Another thing that I get asked is, how expensive is it? So mine, I believe, is $39. It's expensive, I think, but I think it's worth it to get a good tan, because if you get one that's 10 bucks, chances are it's got not that great ingredients and it's not going to work that well, and it's not going to last that well or look very natural. So something that I love about Loving Tan is how natural it looks. That is actually a huge comment I get. People ask me all the time, what do you use because it doesn't look bad? Like, self-tanners can look orange, crazy, not flattering. So that's why I highly recommend this one, because I get so many compliments on it. And there's actually an ingredient within this product that keeps it from being orange. Like, it's not possible to look orange because of this ingredient. So that's another reason I think it's user-friendly and it's so worth it, because you are not going to look orange. I feel like the only way you will is if you're piling layers upon layers upon layers of this, like fully self-tanning, doing it again the next day, and like just trying to get as deep as possible. But this one doesn't look orange. So no, it's not orange. Okay, so another question I get is, does it smell? Yes. I don't think it smells bad. I don't think it smells different than really any other tanning product. Tanning product tends to smell like tanning product. So yeah, if you put it on, you're gonna smell like self-tan, but after you shower, you're good. So that doesn't bother me. If it bothers you, I mean, you might not like any self-tanner, but it doesn't have a fragrance like coconut or whatever. It's literally just the self-tan smell, which I don't mind. I'm super used to it. Okay, guys, I think that's it for questions. If you guys have any other ones, just leave them in the comments below and I will answer them there. I think that's everything I wanted to cover, but of course I might be missing something. So if you guys are interested about knowing anything about this, leave it in the comments. I feel like I am a seasoned self-tanner now, so I can definitely point you in the right direction. with your questions. But I hope that this was helpful, showing you how I apply it, telling you a little bit more about the product. Because when I first started self-tanning, I wanted a video like this to like, how the heck do you put it on? Which one do you get? Another thing is where you can buy it. You can get this at Ulta now, which is so awesome. It's in store. Otherwise, you can go to lovingtan.com and get it there as well. So it's really accessible, easy to find. But yeah, I hope that that was helpful for you guys. I hope that you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe before you leave. Leave any questions down below, and I will see you guys in my next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.